Hello everyone, my name is Kira, this is Gravedigger. I'm sorry for being late on this update, it took me pretty long to just gather footage and edit the video. In this video I'm showcasing patch 1.0 and minor patches 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. First thing, all your progress has been removed. To regain your hours and kills, type /restore data in chat. Do mind that it doesn't give back your medals, unlocks, cosmetics and modifications. The campaign mode has been added. It's now permanent and a new voting menu will appear after a round end. In the voting menu, decide that won the round can choose next operation. There are currently 3 types of operations: Control, Territorial Push and Assault. Side note, the train game mode has been removed. There are currently 10 available campaigns that are chosen randomly. Each one of them has unique objective amounts, modifiers and names. For example, Assault Peak, Savior's Plateau and Scattered Heaven. Round modifiers have been added. There are currently 4 of them: Elite Reinforcements, Hard Rocks, Cave Fog and Lantern Shortage. In Elite Reinforcements, around 5 players of each side are chosen and granted a Shock Trooper kit of their class. They work like usual Shock Trooper kits and disappear upon death. In Hard Rocks, all mineable rocks now required to be hit 2 times to mine instead of 1. They also gain a more bluish tint. Rook's mining grenades and anti-material rifles still work as usual. Cave Fog modifier limits your vision to around 100 stats, meaning you can't snipe people from afar. Offspings, flares and radio troopers still can detect enemies. In Lantern Shortage, both teams are using same yellowish lamps. Jagged Lantern War is also affected by this modifier. After each round, a new end screen will now show. It counts amount of deaths and amount of kills. A chip of Royal Nation or Golden Empire will be placed on the campaign map. Upon winning 4 games, the losing side will be forced into the last stand, a final objective that they will have to defend while winning side attacks. The winning side will spawn in losing side's base, and after a minute the gates will open that lead to escape room. But the door in the back is open to reveal a massive fortress they have to attack. An entirely new objective called Trenches will spawn in front of the castle. Losing side has machine guns they can use in a high ground, while attackers need to fight back or hide in the trenches. The main goal of attacking side is to grab grenades in center of trenches and bomb the gates of the castle. Spawn cache and rook caches are also able to give these grenades, and losing side has a blind spot near the castle the AMGs can't shoot. The amount of grenades needed in total is 8, which is pretty low, and gates get breached in around 2 minutes by attacking side. Once the gates are breached, the losing side points drop to 0 and they have to survive. Usually all the people gather at the back, because it has a fine amount of cover and enemies take longer to reach them. After a certain amount of time, an armored train will pass by to extract their life. It will be highlighted and the members of losing team must get into one of the wagons to escape. Remember that you can still be shot while in the train, so don't peek out. After the losing side escapes on armored train or every soldier dies, the campaign comes to an end. The end screen tells what happened to the campaign map after the events, shows amount of alive soldiers, that Golden Empire and Royal Nation soldiers, quote of one of the soldiers of winning team, and a photo of the regiment, and text "Remember the Fallen." After that, the campaign resets. The round of control is played and the new campaign starts. Here is a full showcase of the fortress. It has 3 floors on the main wall, with windows on middle and top floors. A roof that you can shoot from, 2 machine guns on left and right, a pair of 2 staircases that lead to the main area. On the left is an armory, where the cache is located. Above that is a presentation room, where the map of the caves is and the piano you can't play. On the right side there are beds and a weird passage you cannot enter. Above them a dining area is located. On the back are losing teams' flags and some sandbags. Alternatively, if both teams reach 3 points, the round will be forced to Truce, where the soldiers must vote to fight or stop. The bodies of our brethren litter the caves, with the risk of nation skirmishes and marksmen. Morale on this front has hit an absolute low. We lack the supplies to launch any further attacks without significant losses, but the nation seems to be in a similar position. We are awaiting their contact to officiate a ceasefire, but until then, we leave the decision of whether to cease hostilities or attack to you. May Queen be with you. This campaign has dragged on long enough. Too many lives lost and too many resources expended. You are now given the chance to end this battle amicably, or pick up your arms and give one last fight. You are given 90 seconds to discuss what the team will vote. You are also forced into the team chat, so you can't talk to the other team. There are 3 possible outcomes: peace, if both teams choose truce; final holdout, on the team that chose truce if the other chooses fight; or a massacre if both teams choose fight. If both teams choose truce, then all of the players will spawn on Graveyard, where both teams are separated by an invisible wall. You cannot use your weapons here. When the timer reaches 2 minutes, the invisible wall will disappear and you can walk up to the other team. After that, an end screen pops up and the campaign resets. If both teams choose fight, then they will again spawn at the graveyard, but this time, when the timer reaches 2 minutes, you will be able to use your weapon, and once only one side remains, a different end screen pops up and the campaign resets. Complete massacre. The war zone is left completely uninhabited with no victors. The dead will rot in their graves, their bodies will never be recovered. If you thought this is the end of the video, then you're wrong. I talked about the campaign only. Like and subscribe please, and let's move on. Beta rewards are now given to all the people who played in beta. They are given 10 medals instead of 1 free accessory ticket, and a mining pick skin called Special. Most of the music and themes was changed. Previously, they were dramatic soundtracks from Battlefield. Now the music is much darker and more underground feeling. In my opinion, they should have left the Battlefield music, but it's just my opinion. Quality of life changes. Added a new head stake encounter, which shows your headshots amount. Moved disable transparency setting from immersion to performance. Added collapsed shanty to collapsed map pool. Holding G as soldat / mortician will now always throw ammo pouches / healing syringes to the ground, even if you're aiming at an ally. Hide old servers is now changed to hide servers that are 20 hours or older. new private server command /toggle campaign has been added. It disables the campaign mode. Round end text doesn't overlay over the M menu. Elite kits given with Shock Trooper mode no longer play obnoxious sound every time you pick it up. Added left side variant for trench watch accessory. More dev sounds. Control screen pop-up is now removed. I don't have a controller, I don't have a footage for that. Now let's go over the balance changes. Flares can burn you if you step into them. Officers elite or yellow marks now override all the other marks. Officers advance order now improves acceleration speed, however it's slower and doesn't stack with Greyhound. Ambidextrous aiming speed is increased by 50% now compared to before, which was 100%. You can no longer use G ability while heavy burning. Reduce starting tickets on territory push by 100 to make rounds go faster. Arclair gains 1 extra round in the tube. Reduced hearing distance of the compass. Made bipods easier to deploy. Jess's Q now needs to follow the line of sight rule to deal damage. Mining bomb launcher now has left-handed animations. Oclair's Q has been added. It slows down your cycling speed in exchange for style. Lastly, the bug fixes. Fixed flares lasting longer than they should. Fixed cases of being able to dupe Vanguard's shield. Fixed an issue where rapidly picking up the Vanguard shield as they place it would cause the player to brick themselves. Fixed cases of the killcam highlight showing up after a fast respawn. Fixed issues with your mouse being stuck or not visible during end of round intermissions. Hopefully fixed some alignment issues with physical vault scope. More attempts to hopefully fix kill trading. Removed reloading buffer, fixing issues with double reloading and swapping weapons granting extra rounds, but reload may feel a little less intuitive. Potentially fixed issues of spawning in with shock trooper weapons and having an extra inventory slot, preventing you from equipping the shock weapon. Finally. That was the patch 1.0, but we still have some minor patches. Hotfix patch 1.1. Quality of life. Made some of the music louder. Made the end of the round text go by faster. Bug fixes. Fixed tutorial not sending you to the right place. Fixed not being able to exit out of the Kingslayer. Fixed the void in the last stand. Fixed not getting the badge for playing a campaign properly. Fixed the end of the campaign poses sometimes having incorrect hairs. Fixed being looped in the tutorial. Fixed Truce breaking. Fixed not being able to reload off-hand guns with sword or ambidextrous. Hotfix patch 1.2. Shock Trooper extraction. At the end of the round, if Shock Trooper manages to survive, they will be granted the same kit at the start of the next round. You can change your class, but the Shock Trooper synergy of Storm, Antimaterial or Radio will be lost if you don't choose their correct classes. Additionally, the Shock Trooper gained at the Elite Reinforcements mode will not be extracted. Balance changes. Union far range drop-off increased to 130 stats, meaning it can 3-tap from a longer distance. When the train arrives on last stand, losing team's reinforcements drop to 0, which lets everyone respawn if the gate hasn't been already destroyed. Quality of life. Made the end of the round menu last longer, but not the transition. Added a new setting where you can opt out of elite reinforcement. Added a new private server command, /control randomization. It removes the randomization of the amount of points that spawn in control. Control will always have 3 points. Increased the threshold for swapping teams late into the campaign. Bug fixes. Finally fixed not receiving the campaign badges. Removed the hovering highlight over the last stand train door. Fixed having 2 lanterns in the tutorial. Fixed the misaligned fade to black on train. Fixed helmets not showing up during the end of the campaign poses. And finally, the last hotfix patch 1.3. Quality of life. Added the highlight to the armored train when it arrives on last stand. Removed other spawns in last stand stronghold that involves standing out in the open like an idiot. Realistically, nobody wouldn't be in this position. Shifted text position for the end of the match so they fit better on the screen. Bug fixes. Fixed some floating props. Fixed being stuck on the piano during a truce. Fixed not being able to shoot out the last stand second floor window. Additionally, 37 new compounds have been added to the special compound pool. They can be accessed by using special maps in the private server. Hey guys, editor Kira here. While I was editing this, updates 1.4 and 1.5 have released. We'll go over them. Hotfix patch 1.4. Balance changes. Shock Trooper extraction now works only if the shock escaped through the gates. Previously even the winning team kept their shocks, but now it applies only to losing team. Alkalea's recoil was reduced and its Q ability now increases moving accuracy, moving penalties and handling while increasing recoil. In the final holdout, the losing side now gets 2 shock trooper kits at the start of the round. Added 2 more caches to final holdout. They are located on the roof and at the back. They have a shared cooldown so you can't pick ammo from one cache and the other. The windows in final holdout fortress are given glass impact effect. The glass still cannot be broken. The weird passage near the beds has been closed. Slightly lowered the walls and added sandbags on the roof. Allowed campaign to have one more round modifier, so that every campaign map has at least one. Lastly, bug fixes. Fixed piano in the last sand fortress, highlighting the whole map. Hotfix patch 1.5. Added a setting to disable bullet trails in the performance section. The Solace walker who glued the shock crates during the last stand fortress has been identified and been promptly thrown out to the bandits. And that was the patch 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 and 1.5. I hope this video was helpful, and remember, helmets save lives. Goodbye.